will be having the playoffs for the Female Esports League Elite for Arena of Valor. But before that, my name is Riku.
And I'm Kaysaya.
Yes, Kaysaya.
Definitely.
It's so happy. I mean, it's such an honor to cast with you today. I know you're super excited, but how are you today?
I'm so excited, just like you. Pretty sure you are so hyped, and I'm so hyped as well. And it's gonna be exciting day today and tomorrow for Arena of Valor FSL.
Yes, Ria, I believe you flew a couple of months ago to do
Yes.
MLBB, and now after a few months of qualifiers for Arena of Valor, imagine we've got 47 teams. Out of 47 teams, we're now down to 3 from the qualifiers and 1 invited team from Taiwan. And I have, like, it's the first time FSL is going to be having Arena of Valor for the Female Esports
Yes,
League Elite.
actually, for the mobile games, Mobile Legends Bang Bang and Arena of Valor, they just started this year, and it's very exciting that we are in an innovating world, and they are actually engaging this kind of games from the mobile scene as well. So, and by the way, apart from that, after Arena of Valor, these first 2 days here at Comex 2019, you're gonna witness League of Legends as well, and I know you're gonna be casting there.
Yeah, super excited to cast that as well. It's going to be held on September 7 at 8 here. We're here right now at Comics 2019. It's my first comics. It sounded like comics. But moving back for Arena of Valor, again, these teams, these female esports teams have gathered from different regions,
Yes.
Thailand, Vietnam, MSP, and then ID, which merged just recently
Yes.
this year, I
Yes.
believe. So it's going to be a different scenario because we're used to MSP and then Indonesia as separate regions.
Yes.
But with the combined power of MSP ID, what happened? What is the evolution for their meta, their play style?
Definitely.
What's gonna happen for this round robin,
Yes.
double round robin?
And do not forget, we have an invited team from Taiwan as well, and merging all these countries to battle in here at the Suntec Convention Center here in Singapore is going to be very exciting because we're going to witness, this is going to be the first time that they're going to match against each other because, during the qualifiers within their regions, of course, they only were able to play within the teams in their
Yes,
regions.
that's
and
true.
now we are to witness what will be the difference in terms of the meta in here, especially that we're going to implement a global ban pick without no reset at all.
Yeah, it's gonna be a BO2 for a double round robin. So again, a lot of adjustments that's gonna happen most definitely. But for those who may be new to the different format in our draft, would you like to explain how it's gonna go?
Sure. But basically, with global ban pick, what is going to happen is that if one team already selected the heroes in the first round, they won't be able to use it on the succeeding rounds already. So this is just per series. So it's very important to plan out and strategize on how you're going to spend the hero pools
That's true,
within
yeah.
your pocket. So are you going to spend all the metas already on the first round, or are you going to reserve it on the later part of the stages?
That's absolutely true. I mean, with a BO2, I feel like it's not going to affect them too much. But once we head on over to the playoffs, once we get our seedings for day number 2, I feel like when the BO3 and the BO5s come in, that's where it's going to get tricky for the global draft.
It's definitely gonna be tricky, and we don't have any auto-ban heroes as well. So even
Yeah.
the recently released heroes, Chi, for example, will make probably an appearance in here, and this is gonna be a test of the hero pools of all of our players on how they're gonna play this against our rule.
Yep, Suri. I bet I'm very, very excited actually to check out the meta for our Female Esports League Elite because let's just say there is a regional meta, but at the same time there is a team meta. What are their comfort picks? How is this going to evolve throughout the tournament? And sometimes we get really awesome surprises. Do you have any expectations on certain picks that you'd like to see in this tournament?
Expectations, well, because we recently even just had an update wherein some of the meta marksman, just like Fennec and Hayate, getting nerfed out. So we might see some slight appearances of them, but we recently also had a buff just recently, again, just like what I have mentioned, Natalia. So I'm so excited about seeing this hero as well getting a buff where she actually had an increase in terms of the range of her skills. So
Yes.
that will definitely make a difference. And there since this the qualifiers happened, I think a month ago, so a lot of changes has happened. Even on the adjustments on the runes,
That's true.
etc.
That's true. It was a huge, huge patch, and they
Yes.
even did a hot fix on it. But of course, the Female Esports League Elite is brought to you by our awesome partners and
Yes.
sponsors, Singtel and PvP Esports. Dreamcore, thank you so much for our PCs for production and the players. We've got Overdrive as well for the awesome visuals and
Yes.
graphics. Yahoo as our media partner. Intel for awesome CPUs, and Aftershock for our laptops. Logitech, of course, as well. Super solid. Stygian Force, thank you so much for the mobile sponsor for the prizes.
Yes.
Elgato for our awesome streaming equipment, and of course, everyone here at
Yes,
Comics
and of
2019.
course, about the prize pool that we have for our participants. For the first prize, we'll have $1,000 plus. Include that 5 pieces of 6933S headset plus
Woo.
5 pieces of Stygian Force professional kit. And for the second placer, we'll have them $750 plus 5 pieces of headset from our sponsor as well. Third placer will take home $500 plus 5 pieces of headset. Everyone's getting a headset in here.
Woo, yeah.
Fourth placer will take home $250 plus 5 pieces of that headset as well. So no one's gonna come home or go back home without grabbing a bit of the prize pool.
That's true, absolutely true. And not only they're fighting for the prize pool, but for the title of being the
Yes.
best female esports team here for the FSL Elite for Arena of Valor. I am so excited for the match coming, for our first match of the day. And I believe it is going to be our team from Thailand, which is EVOSxBazaar versus Vietnam.
Yes, and here we can see some of the highlights from the qualifiers that has happened in their own very regions. Fobo team, look at that on the red side, actually having the dominating match against V Gaming Girls, and they're even securing more kills onto the base of as they have an opportunity on ending this game already. Did you know that I think they didn't even have a lose on their qualifier stage in Vietnam?
That's crazy.
Pretty much they are unbeatable. I wonder if they will be able to, continue that no loss in this qualify or in this playoffs as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. I feel like both of these teams, when we witnessed their finals at the qualifiers in their respective regions, for EVOSxBazaar and for Fobo team, I feel like what they have in common is their fighting spirit. They are both of these teams are really great at playing from behind. So if these two teams come together and go against each other, it makes me wonder who will, because I feel like the early game will really set the tempo, but at the same time, both of these teams can really slow the pace of the game. Then again, it really depends on what their picks are, what the draft is going to be.
Yes, definitely. And fighting spirit, just like what you have mentioned, I believe all of the teams that we have in here in Singapore right now really has to have that. And by the way, just a little bit of trivia about some of the players in here. One member from EVOSxBazaar is actually a very popular streamer.
Ooh.
In their country is Frozen Kids, their captain, their Abyssal Dragon laner in here. As you can see in the photo, she is actually on the bottom left part of the screen right now. And from the side of FOBA team, we have in here, still the undefeated team from their qualifier, from their country. We have, probably we can highlight Sunny Coco in here. She's actually a teacher, and we learned that she knew about Arena of Valor from her students. So that's very interesting.
That's super cute because it's like the teacher has become the student, right? It's amazing because you learn from each other. Not only well, we're starting to go like deep life stories here, and that's pretty sweet. But you mentioned we were talking about the players and the teams here, and it's interesting because EVOSxBazaar from Thailand, it is their first time representing Thailand in a tournament and their first time going overseas. So let's see if there's going to be like the rookie's luck, if you will. I'm not sure if that's the right term, but sometimes there's a ton of surprises when you've never encountered a certain team before, and it's going to be very exciting for Thailand here.
I'm pretty sure this is going to matter as well on how their coaches has trained them, because we know as you have noticed, we have 2 EVOS teams in here from the
Oh,
same
yeah.
organization. So it's going to be very interesting. Well, from other bigger leagues, we know that EVOS is actually even dominating at the moment.
That's true.
And in here, the coaching style might affect how these players, EVOSxBazaar and EVOSxSports, will be able to play in here at FSL Elite. Because, of course, same organization, same idea. So coaching style might be passed on to these teams as well.
That's a great point. I think that's double the pressure for
I
EVOSxBazaar,
know, right?
because not
The
only
name.
exactly, they're not only representing the region for Thailand, but also representing the EVOS organization.
Yeah.
So it might be a heavy title, but if ever they get past to a higher seed or get through semifinals, we don't know. But you mentioned they do have a sister team representing the MSP ID region.
Who knows? They have screamed in here days
That's
before the tournament itself. We will be starting pretty much soon, so hold on tight. We are also live on all of the platforms of Female Esports League Mobile. Just search it on Facebook and YouTube. We are on that platforms.
Yep. Here we go. We're heading over to our BO2 draft between EVOSxBazaar and FOBO team from Vietnam. And Elsu is going to be their first pick. Again, whoever is blue side here for Esports, EVOSxBazaar, Sefera, Hayate, I'm not going to question that at all. One of the top picks. This is a fast draft. I want to say, this is a fast draft.
It's very fast. Like, are they even like
They know
I
what
just
to
want to
do.
say
Yeah.
they know what to do, but I'm wondering like why they're not. Are they even analyzing, or they have practices already? Like they really want to form out a meta or a composition overall to work out on this first round. But meanwhile, Fennec, Varus banned onto the blue side. That is EVOSxBazaar. Meanwhile, we can see a Zip, Florentino, and Liliana banned so far for the side of FOBA team.
I have a feeling we won't be seeing a Zip in this tournament since I've heard it's been banned a couple of times.
Yeah.
Despite it being nerfed in the hot patch, which released I think around September 2nd. So they did nerf a couple of heroes and buffed one.
Yeah.
But Mira's actually getting banned here, most likely a target ban.
Two marksman composition, by the way, Elsu and Lindis in here onto the side of EVOSxBazaar. Pretty much this has become popular since the second to the last recent patch that we had in here for Arena of Valor. Primarily, probably because of of course, the buffs that has been given to the marksman, plus the inclusion of the rune enchantment.
That's true, absolutely true. Kriknak is gonna be banned as well. At least you see that the side lanes are actually, already locked in. I suppose Victor is going to be in the jungle, but they're still banning Kriknak for sure.
Talking about the Kriknak ban as well, primarily the reason why they have banned is out is because they got 2 marksmen in here, and they are very squishy, and especially Elsu not having that much mobility compared as to Lindis. So we know that Kriknak is actually a very good assassin to go straight forward to the backline and burst down this marksman or this archer. So it's actually a wise ban, I must say, that EVOSxBazaar has decided.
Yeah, I really understand what you're going for here. And you're right, they're banning most of the assassins that can burst people down. So it makes me wonder what are the side lanes, what are the DS lanes here for for EVOSxBazaar. As we already secured our, our roamer for the Baldom.
Yes.
Elsu, Lindis, 2 very scary picks. I feel like their strategy here, if they do form everything else for their last 2 picks, perhaps it's a very damage-heavy
Interesting. Roar.
When was the last time you see Roar?
Oh, well, actually, just recently, yes.
Seaball.
Yeah, Seaball, we did see this Roar. Seaball, by the way, is actually a qualifiers for the SEA Games in the Philippines, just in case you're wondering. So 2 marksmen set up as well for the side of Team FOBO. And you can understand in here still, everyone's almost going for a 2 marksman setup, but they love that. But Roar do understand that this is quite a marksman that will go, that loves to go in, or go in a closer range compared to like going on a farther range. But then this Rourke has his ultimate where he can get more shield so that he can go for team fight.
Yes, that's absolutely true. Ignis
Oh, Ignis, this is actually surprising. I didn't see this coming alone or early on round 1, but because we are on a global ban pick setup, just like what you have mentioned a while ago, might this be a reason probably they're reserving some of the, OP ones on the later part of the stage?
That's true, that's true. I do love the Omen pick as well. I mean, it is quite a standard. But you're right, Ignis is such a very surprising pick. Although I do understand the reasoning behind the Ignis is because most of the heroes on the opposite side of FOBO team is very short range. So Ignis is going to be a good answer or crowd control, if you will, for the rest of the players from Vietnam. So I'm excited if they can pull this off.
I am excited as well. Sephora in here definitely looks like we will go as the support roamer for the side of FOBO team. And there you go, we have completed the lineup for our game 1 for this match between EVOSxBazaar and FOBO team. Again, this is going to be a round robin match for the rest of today. We'll wait who's going to get this first 3 points or 2 points or rather 1 point for this match.
Absolutely. The format is a double round robin.
Yes.
So if they win 2 times in this BO2, they get 3 points.
Yes.
They win 1, then that's just 1 point.
1 point.
And 0 is self-explanatory. What do you think, though? That now that we've seen the whole draft, who do you think should have the edge? Maybe early game?
It's gonna be tricky right now, but you know how much I love Hayate, but he recently got nerfed.
That's true.
So I think I'm gonna go for the lineup of EVOSxBazaar this time, primarily because the damage of Elsu and Lindis is just there, especially into the mid and late game time. So I think, yeah, if I'm gonna predict in terms of the lineup only, I'm gonna go for EVOSxBazaar.
I have to agree with you there. But now that I look at the FOBO team here for Vietnam, if they do manage to survive the fight, then they can probably outlast EVOSxBazaar. But at the same time, I feel like Yoonha here on the Baldom, it's going to be a heavy answer when they go all in, because you do have that Wild Prison to either disengage or start a fight to make it maybe a 5v3 or 5v2 situation, depending on how much people are trapped inside that dome.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I guess for the meantime, let's have a recap of the player lineup for the teams. For EVOSxBazaar, we have in here Lindis for Maz, Ignis for Lucy, we have a Baldum for Yoonha, and then Elsu for FZK, and Omen for Alice.
Yep, and for Vietnam FOBO team, we got Saya on the Liliana, Saber on the Richter, Andrew on the Rourke, Tracy for the Hayate, and Sunny on the Sephora. So I'm super excited because Yoonha and Lucy form a very good maybe roam squad for their 3-man, perhaps. If you pair it with the Lindis, Baldum, and the Ignis.
There you go, on to the top lane in here. A little bit of a pro cut by both of the teams. So anyway, so within 4-minute game time, we'll understand that as much as possible, they try to not give any kills to your opponent, or else they might snowball you early on and they could probably keep up on that. And this is going to be a battle of how fast, but look at that.
Oh, wow. That's absolutely nice stun there by the Sephora. And at this point, it's actually pretty interesting because Yoonha will not leave Ignis' side as well as Sephora with Saya. They're a good combo. But sustain-wise, though, I have to hand it to the mid lane of FOBO team.
Yeah, definitely onto the middle lane. You have to try to clear faster.
Oh, Yoonha is in big trouble. Very, very low at this point. There's the flicker in, but the bird will actually catch Yoonha. Nicely done by Sunny, but Saya will actually get that first blood. Mass is super low, but looks like this is the time for EVOSxBazaar to disengage.
Very interesting team fight onto the middle lane. That one kill is going to go to the side of FOBO team, and there you go, really good position that they have so far secured onto the Abyssal Dragon Kratos. How can they catch up with that FOBO team securing that Abyssal Dragon? Look at that. The Sentinel is actually still available onto the top side. So what can EVOSxBazaar do? They must secure this one so that they will be able to catch up in terms of gold. But in here, Saber actually trying to contest that.
Saber will dash right out, seeing Lucy right around the corner. Yuna zoning Sunny away, but looks like that's not going to be a full-on fight as the Spirit Sentinel actually might reset.
It got reset indeed. And that was actually the only way, supposedly, for Bazaar to catch up. But onto the mid, that was quite an aggressive poke by the Baldoom. But of course, with the Sephora having the movement speed as part of her skill kit, she will be able to back away.
Yeah, looks like they're going to be free to take the Spirit Sentinel. I mean,
there
Saber
you
is
go.
there, but they do have harassed. Good zone by Lucy with all of his ult as well.
That was what was needed by EVOSxBazaar. Catch up on goal. Look at what the goal lead right now. It has gone into a smaller difference at this moment upon securing that Sentinel. And now they just have to be very careful and, you know, still catch up and not give any of even the neutral monsters from their jungle.
Oh, they might actually clash here in the river side. The stun is going to connect to Yuna and FCK, but that's an Elsu. He can actually attack from a huge range.
Sunny!
Trying to dive in, very brave. I mean, she does have the shield. And there's the snipes from FZK, but he might get dove upon.
That poke coming up from the Sephora is just way too much. And look at this, 4 members onto the bottom lane part of the map of EVOSxBazaar. Looks like they will be able to secure this turret right now. Oh, but no, they lack the minion.
Well, that will reset. Nice clear. I think with Lucy, okay, hold that thought. Here at the top side of the map, Omen's gonna lock in the opposition, but Maz, nothing will happen there.
Yeah,
at the
no
top side.
turrets will fall down this 4-minute game time. It is actually a very good match that they actually able to maintain this one, but then again, still a little so much catching up will be. Oh, there you go, 800 gold difference right now. So we can say that Lindis is actually doing a great job of maintaining that consistency in the jungle area. But then again, do take note, Abyssal Dragon will be the next contestant point.
It's absolutely true. Lucy's job, of course, is try to clear the waves so that they can move towards different areas of the map and catch up, because with what I'm seeing right now, FOBA team is dictating the pace of the game. They're very aggressive.
Team indeed. 4-man rotation onto the top. Elise is all alone. What is going to happen? Will he be able to survive? Lucy is here to poke out the rest of members of FOBA team. This turret will not fall down. Just a very timely backup incoming from the side of EVOSxBazaar, Riku.
Absolutely true. I'm really liking what EVOSxBazaar is doing. They're doing a good job catching up with any sort of aggressive move from Vietnam. And it's actually very amazing to watch. That 4-man could have worked, but Lucy came into the rescue, but now they are in control here of the
Spirit Sentinel will allow EVOSxBazaar to actually basically catch up on gold, and the gold difference is just now 300 from at 1k before, from 800 now it's just it's now equal. Woo! They just made it equal, so real good catch up by the side of EVOSxBazaar in here onto the top.
Oh, there's the stun in. There's Saber gonna get jumped upon by 3 members from EVOSxBazaar. That's going to be a kill. 1-1 apiece on the total kill scoreboard.
Yes, and look at what's happening onto the bottom lane part of the map. It's a 1v1 between these 2 archers, and a pressure coming up from the top side by EVOSxBazaar. It seems like the Lindis is catching up on the needed damage that she wants on this game time already.
Yeah, Lindis is definitely one of my favorite junglers on paper. Work is gonna get harassed, but that is gonna be a dash. Yuna might get zoned away. Wild Prison won't get anyone, but Saber's is lurking around the corner. Still not
really
over.
Liking what both of the teams is actually doing in here, but the first tower is gonna go in favor onto the side of EVOSxBazaar. But look at that, the rotation in here by Bobo is actually mostly on a 4-man setup. Meanwhile, you can see EVOSxBazaar usually going for a 3-2 setup in here, wherein they make sure that they could still go for a team fight, even they're just 3-man member. But it seems like onto the bottom lane, look at that, they were able to send 4 or rather 3 members from the side of Fobo to defend that lane.
Yep, sorry. You're right, they did manage to defend the lane, and now they may be able to retaliate and take the tower here at the bottom side. So Sunny, Tracy, and Saya will stick around because that is a very low health tower.
Yes.
And L2 doesn't have the best wave clear in the world. So this is a good move from FOBA team And I guess it's a good exchange because we saw EVOSxBazaar get that mid lane. I think what their plan is, if they're aggressive on their siege, then they would like to do wave clear, but
in here, what is happening now? Lucy in a little bit of wrong position, but has a clear out. Ultimate coming out from the Hayate in here, but look at that. Yunya will be caught up as well. Mavs trying to back away. 5 members of FOBA team still alive and got the position onto that Abyssal Dragon as well.
That is, I suppose, the weakness of the draft of Bazaar Esports. Like, they have a good siege tool with all the wave clears in the world. They do have a lot of CC. People, FOBA team might be afraid to attack fully.
But I guess do take note with the gold lead going back to the side of FOBA team. It just basically means as well that the Rourke is also online. Look at that, even joining the team fight at the moment and can go in and out of the team fight just like that. Did you see that, Riku?
Yeah, super brave Andrew here on the Rourke. And good thing Elsu has some sort of ability to get out of the fight. With his long range, Elsu with his long range doesn't need to be in the middle of everything. So again, good defense for EVOSxBazaar in their composition. But the problem is when the team from Vietnam is going all in, it's so difficult, especially if your members are so isolated. You mentioned, Kaisaya, earlier that a lot of the members from Bazaar, EVOSxBazaar is very squishy. So I think that's where they're gonna have a problem.
That's where they're gonna have a problem. They're actually even trying to chase this Lindis, which is all alone onto the top. But with Lindis having this passive range, you can just get some movement speed by just, you know, going onto the burst. But look at this Tracy. It looks like he's gonna got up onto the ultimate coming up from the Baldoon. He might get a setup, but just in time, a backup coming up from Sunny in here to give up protection. But Mavs, oh my goodness, getting that kill. You know what, this 2 marksman setup is just so amazing right now. But look, let's take a look at what the sideliners doing at the moment.
Saber doing the split push. Elise is going to do her best to save and get a constellation prize. You take my tower, and unfortunately I cannot take your life. And again, FOBA team is everywhere.
Off-cam kill in here by Maz once more. I think what went wrong is that the Hayate actually did engage onto a team fight. Even just he was just all alone. Probably he just, you know, tried, because we didn't see that happening actually in the camera. But looking just right on the mini-map, we saw that there were actually 4 members onto the side of EVOSxBazaar, and Hayate probably got caught up in the middle of a team fight and cannot go out at all. So there you go, a dead Hayate.
A dead Hayate. You're absolutely right. I think that's what happened. And I feel like that's the reason why FOBA team is starting to do this 1-3-1s. They're doing these split pushes. Is because they know that Maz's damage output is insane. They cannot, most likely, if they can't find her isolated, if it's a full 5v5, they might be in trouble. And if the stuns don't land for Sunny, it's like I'm anticipating to say Sunny's name. But anyway, let's take a look at the mid lane.
Middle lane, everyone's just basically clearing that one out. It's very important in here on this MOBA game, of course, and any other MOBA as well, to gain control of the map. So you make sure that before you hold the spot, because they have in here Tracy going down once more onto the hands of the Lindis. Oh, I guess this is now the moment that we're actually seeing a less like powerful Hayate getting nerfed out. But I guess the main reason why he's getting called on this time is because he doesn't have any backup incoming. And in here you can see the true damage coming from the Elsa. That was just a normal attack, getting that kill. But Andrew trying to secure one more kill so far in favor of the side of FOBA team.
Yeah, it's going to be a 2-for-1 for EVOSxBazaar. They win that trade, but let's take a look. There's going to be a stun onto Yunha. It's going to charge right under the tower. It's going to be fine, going to be A-OK. It looks like there's not going to be a full-on fight just yet. Elsu looking for the snipe. Not going to work just yet. There's a brush nearby. Yuna will spot out Sunny.
Sunny in here getting a stun, but I guess that's not necessary. Just chase out that Balzoon. Anyway, but onto the bot, you can see Tracy trying to get Elise, but Elise, we know that this Omen has actually some capability to, to sustain more damage compared to other Diaz laners.
Oh, Saber though, probably in the middle of it all. There's the engage. Yuna half HP right now. They're full on target, full on charge to Yuna. Maybe their next target's gonna be Lucy, and Saya just dashes away out of danger. Lucy at the moment has no ability to stop the full-on charge from Vietnam. And there you go, they get 1 kill.
I'm actually amazed that everyone's, or actually both of the teams, is keeping up in terms of the gold lead. They just really want to make sure that they will catch up. I guess in here, the mistake that is being done onto the side of Phobo team is just usually the overextension by the Hayate alone. And most of the time, even that, like, there's no vision from coming on the point of view of the Hayate, he will still go in for, you know, trying to do the split push, but let's look at what's happening onto the top lane. Look at the damage from the Lindies! It's just way too much!
Maz is on fire right now. She must be happy with this game. I mean, it's 12 or 13 minutes in. She has a lot of kills on her KDA.
Looks like this is gonna be a quick Dark Slayer in here that's being done by EVOSxBazaar at the moment. Looks like Boba team is not aware, but look at that. Actually, Sunny was able to see that one coming all alone, but then again, they were too late on trying to get a position and that objective.
Quick objectives by, we mentioned in the draft, they have a ton of damage output, and it's working wonders for them. At the moment, PBT is not able to find the picks that they want. They did in the early stages of the game, but now they have the Dark Slayer buff. They even have the Dragon at the moment, so they have full control of the map. Let's see how they maximize this well. PBT is going to be in defense mode. They're going to be looking for the picks, but it could go the other way around.
Sunny in here has to be very careful. They use the second skill to back away, but then again, this is now a 6v5. And Sun is actually on half health. She has to regain some HP bars in there, or else they cannot engage with this kind of HP on his line. Oh, look at the damage from the Lindis.
Exactly, and it's kind of hard to dive right in. There's the stun.
Tracy getting caught once more. You really have to be very careful on which team fight to engage on. And look at the damage. This is now what we're talking about. Late game time, Lindis and Elsu. This is just normal attacks coming out from two archers that we have onto the lineup. Omen, or rather Victor, is actually onto the other side part of the map. And I don't think that this will be a good decision, like try to go far away and not help the teammates in here, because the situation is actually far worse on the side of Bobo at the moment.
Yeah, if we take a look at the earlier stages of the game, they were quite equal in terms of goal, in terms of map pressure, but now it's just a whole nother level of topsy-turvy land here for EVOSxBazaar. They definitely did a good amount of control over the map, but now PBT is stepping right back up here by taking the enraged of the Dragon. But here's Evo is trying to contest it and see if they can zone them away. That's the scary part about FZK here. They can poke and they can clear waves and they can just probably poke them away, force them to go home.
This is an enraged Visual Dragon, and it's just very easy for them to contest as well. Look at the damage. Lucy is going so low, and I think she will fall down, but I think we have a tussle happening onto the top lane. Saber going low as well, getting caught up. Looks like available in there is the Flaker, but unfortunately Alice wasn't able to catch that guy up.
Oh, but here comes the rest of PBT here. Sunny and Andrew is going to jump towards Elise. It's quite a slow burn towards Elise. I mean, he is an Omen, and here comes the rest of the squad. Matt will decide to just back away, perhaps, maybe, not sure, but actually popping that right off. There's, wow! That dome though, and all the damage from Maz.
I was actually about to say that, okay, why did the Baldoom save that Hayate in there by making use of his ultimate? But then again, just in time, Maz still has some abilities available to burst that Hayate. Now, anyway, Hayate just has a little bit of tiny, you know, HP in there, so I don't think he will be able to survive anyway. And again, another Dark Slayer in here being contested by EVOSxBazaar. This is gonna be quick, Riku.
Very quick, even a two-man Dark Slayer, no need, as the rest of the members from EVOSxBazaar will push the lanes. This is going to be round 2 to Siege for EVOSxBazaar. Let's see if they can push it all the way towards the base.
Towards the base, will it happen? That is the question. Meantime, I think it's very important for the team to, you know, make sure that they clear all of the waves, so at least they got all of the advantage already once they put down the Drake that this Lindis has already in the kit. Plus, do take note, this is double buff for the Lindis. So I think someone from the side of Hobo team has to really get that Lindis onto the back line, but it's gonna be hard because who will go onto the back line? It's just gonna be the Victor.
That's true. There's not a lot of dive options for PBT. Saber might bump into Elise. They decide not to fight it. Instead,
And
they will just clear the waves.
And Victor is very busy onto the side lane.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
what will happen on the Lindis? It seems like they're gonna give away the free hit onto the Lindis as well as the Elso onto the back if they don't have someone from the side of Hoba to go for the back line of EVOSxBazaar.
All right. Okay, a bunch of damage towards Sunny. But no CC just yet. The tricky thing about the whole composition of PBT is that your number one reliable source of CC is Sunny, but Sunny's also just as squishy as the other members. So a lot of long range from Evos. So it's going to be tricky if they do want to get an all-in land that CC for themselves.
And look at the HP of the turret. It's just going to hold on just like it did it onto the middle lane as well. And they have to regain some of the HP bars because look at that free heating Elsu as well as the Lindis onto the backline once more. I keep repeating that one because that is the reality of what we're seeing at the moment.
Yeah, Evos has a lot on their checklist. Wave clear, yes. Long range poke, yes. Engage, yes. Disengage, yes. Hard CC, yes. So it's such a balanced team. They even have a duelist. They have their side split pusher on the form of Elise here on the Omen. So everything is on their checklist. So at this point, they can take it slow. They can make it into a more sure siege, if you will. So PBT, let's see how well they can adjust, because at this point everyone is grouped as 5s or maybe as 4s, and then Omen is gonna split push somewhere else. So it's hard to catch someone off guard.
Yeah, but you can see how EVOSxBazaar is still patient on this one. Although they got the lead a while ago, they intended to not end that game. For the meantime, Saya getting cut. Look at the damage coming from Lucy. It's just way too much. Andrew trying to go for the back line, but it's just way too much as well. But look at what it's doing. That was being done by Victor onto the top lane part of the map. Someone has to back away. Look at the Baldum. Oh, but Crazy in here getting caught up as well. Will not survive. This is gonna be it, Rico. I think this is gonna be it. The death timers is way too heavy at the moment. And Victor is... No, even if it teleports back, this is gonna be the end of the game. And there you go. Game 1 is gonna go to EVOSxBazaar.
EVOSxBazaar did an amazing job. It was quite equal at the early stages of the game between Vietnam and Thailand. But Maz did such an amazing job. She must be proud of herself and her teammates in game number 1. I mean, it is the start of the match. I mean, start of the day for FSL Elite. But take a look at the stats, Kaisaya. That's
the stats 7-1-4 for Maz all alone. But of course, we gotta commend the teammates as well. Of course, without really good vision provided by Yunha, probably that will be impossible. And of course, Elise having that duel against the Saber is just so amazing as well. But then again, still a good job for both of the teams. I guess they did both pretty much did really good team fight overall. It's just so happened that potentially, you know, the draft itself was a little bit of like you know, questionable in terms of like having a few CC onto the side of Koba.
I have to agree with you on for what do you call this, on what you said about the draft. I think it's because a lot of the assassins, the top tier assassins, was banned, and therefore the answer to dive into the squishy targets like Cricknack, Nakroth actually got removed in the draft. So we'll see for later. Any last words before we go on a break?
I think we just have to take note that the draft is really, really important. You know, you have to consider on you're making sure that you have a balanced out lineup, just like what you had mentioned a while ago. You know, do you have the enough CC for you to be able to you know, counter, at least stop all of the or the rest of the members of your opponent to go for a burst against your lineup, just like what EVOSxBazaar did, you know, again locking up that or removing that Cricknack as well as the other assassins, the Nakroth, I think.
That's true.
Yeah, so what we saw on Phobo's side was just, it was the Rourke trying to go for the backline, but then again, yes, you do have an ultimate, but I think the burst will definitely not be enough for the
Yeah,
Thor.
I think it's all about, backline solutions. But we'll see if PBT will be able to get back up from, game number 1. Again, this is a BO2. We'll go on for a short break, and we'll see you guys later for game number 2 of our match 1. There you have it. Those are our teams going up against each other in match number 1 for our double round robin. And so far, my favorite was Yunha's, the Baldum user earlier. The take my heart.
Yeah.
But she's super cute.
Yeah, everyone was so lovely, actually.
Yeah, the
I
finger
like-
hearts from PBT or who,
Yeah,
right?
I like what they did in there on their shooting. But anyway, we're about to witness all about their skills in here, just like what we have seen a while ago. Game 1, it was pretty intense, and we have a lot of matches to catch up for today. So don't you go away. We have just started, and we all have to find out. By the way, again, this is a round robin match
Yep.
for today, best of 2, and we're gonna be ranking up based on the points that they will gather today. And tomorrow for our day 2 of Arena of Valor FSL, we will be seeding them according to the points that they had for today, or that they will have for today.
Yep.
And it's gonna be a double elimination setup for
Yes.
tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be very important for the upper bracket, of course, unless if you're the type of team that wants to come from the lower bracket. I mean, it's a really good narrative, for sure. But yeah.
Oh, by the way, this is the
Yeah.
first time that Phobot get a loss from their qualifiers.
Oh,
Right.
dang.
For very first match. But don't you worry, guys. Everyone will come back tomorrow. It's just so happy that, the seeding will be very important on how we're going to bracket everyone out on the day 2. But again, we have actually listed down the heroes from our game 1 because we're going to have a global ban pick setup, which means all of the heroes that were picked from the previous rounds will no longer be allowed on getting picked on the succeeding round per series.
Yep, so no reset. I feel like it's not going to hurt them as much since
Yeah,
it's a BO2, but
BO2.
when we move into the latter stages of the game, when it's a BO3 and a BO5,
Yeah.
then that's where the teams might feel the pain during the draft.
I'm so excited to see that one actually, and
Same
on
here.
how they're gonna adjust, and especially we don't have any auto banned heroes. I wonder if we will see a Chi or a Zip in here, which was recently just released.
Oh, yeah, and recently been nerfed as well.
Oh yes,
But I feel like
for Zip,
Zip
actually
is too
for
strong.
both.
Yeah.
For both.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, and the runes as well. By the way, Sacred Protection got nerfed as well, not having the additional movement speed already once it pops out. So let's see how this is gonna affect the rune speaking of our players as well.
Yeah, I think it does make sense because most of the top picks anyway does have really good movement speed and as well as maybe sustain, may have some form of armor or some form of debuff. So a lot of powerful picks in our current meta for Arena of Valor. What is your favorite anyway?
My favorite hero or
Yeah.
my favorite rune? Hero.
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 Wow, you have a
I-
favorite
I-
rune.
I have because I
Hardcore.
have a favorite rune.
Okay.
And it's actually Sacred Protection that just recently
Got
got
nerfed.
nerfed. And the reason why it's most of the players' favorite is because it just has a 15-second cooldown, and it will give you a huge shield plus movement speed. So it's very understandable why it got a recent nerf by removing that movement speed.
That's
So,
true.
but then again, still my favorite. It's still useful having that really low cooldown, but. Talking about hero, your question, Hayate is actually my favorite, but
Ooh.
it looks like I have to change it because it got nerfed and it lost a fight a while ago.
I mean, he was pretty strong before the nerf, I suppose.
Yes.
Although based from what we've seen so far, I don't think the nerf affected the draft. You'd still want
you
Hayate
can
in your
still-
team. Yep.
Yeah, very mobile, very ninja-like. With his passive, he's actually able to detect if there are nearby heroes within him.
Yeah.
If he sees that a circle around him. So still I like him though. But if I'm gonna choose another one, well, maybe this time I ask you
It's
which one
okay.
is your favorite.
You know what's funny? So my favorite hero
ahead.
is actually Vera, and I'm so
Really?
sad she's not the best.
Ooh.
I mean, when the pool was a little bit, pool of heroes was small, Vera is still not the best, but I loved her kit. I think if I look at her kit, it's actually a lazy person's kit. You don't have to target a
Confirm
lot. You
stun.
just press a lot of buttons. 2 buttons for the auto target and then 1 for the AoE, which is her first skill. So Oh, well, whatever. I liked her character design, though.
And yeah, actually, Vera is like the mage version of Valheim
Exactly,
as well.
yeah.
So
But at least there was a time Valheim was meta.
yeah, actually, he is still part of the
Oh,
meta
yeah.
at the moment.
That's true.
Getting picked a lot, especially if you want to counter that Hayate went out, because we know Hayate's ultimate, to just basically counter that, you need a crowd control. And
That's true.
confirmed stun coming out from the Valheim is just so useful.
Yeah, it's really great against, the assassins, since it's easy to land the stun. You can punish anyone that decides to go in
Yeah.
on his own. But I suppose since, the assassins were most banned earlier in game number 1, I feel like there was no need to get
Yeah.
someone like a Valheim. And they pretty much secured what they needed. There's a ton of, you mentioned a ton of marksman bans on earlier, like
Yeah,
Fennec.
actually.
I believe Violet was actually taken out as well.
Violet is still part of the meta, although you can get her online because she scales too slow.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
she will go online mid to late game time. But once it's already late game time, my goodness, one hit coming out from the after the roll, then just one hit coming out from the Violet. It's just you will definitely get deleted from the map.
That's true, and it's great against tower offense
Yep.
as well. So I feel like that's the reason why she's banned most of the time. She's not exactly hard to use. She's pretty linear, if you ask me. But in terms of micromanagement for that hero, when given to the right hands to a skillful player, then yes, it is pretty amazing.
You know what? For me, I think if you want to talk about which hero will require more skills to practice around, I think it's gonna be Florentino. Have you tried Florentino?
Oh, I tried him once. Yeah, I liked his character design because he's like very confident about his looks and all the
Does it
flowers
look
and the
manly
resets. Yeah,
for
yeah.
you?
It's manly for me. I like that. I like the design. Very charming. Very,
charming in it. And talking about this hero once more, a lot of like advanced skill play. Like you really have to have a good hand and eye coordination. Of course, fast reflexes on your fingers as well when playing this Florentino hero. Primarily because you have to pick the flowers.
The flowers on the ground.
that
Yeah.
he puts out on the ground, and of course, decision making on where you want to go next is also very vital.
Yeah, it's trying to maximize your kit fully because you have to. What do you call it? You mentioned you have to pick up the flowers and you have to dance around the
Yes.
battlefield. That's exactly what his character is about.
Yes, and countering the Florentino, let's talk about probably Illumia. I know how much you have disliked this Illumia.
Oh
from
yeah,
the first
you
time
remember?
that we
Yeah.
have casted
Yeah, yeah.
Arena of Valor since it came out. in
Yeah,
the
I don't like
Philippines.
Illumia. Okay, okay, okay.
Well,
Continue.
Illumia actually is getting picked a lot,
That's
even in the
true.
qualifier stage from our teams. And primarily, she's actually being used to, as a source of crowd control. Well, all of the abilities of Illumia has the crowd control,
Yes.
especially if the passive pops out and the first skill can do additional crowd control.
Yep.
And of course, the ultimate providing vision as well, plus the crowd control is just so useful. So I'm so excited about seeing Illumia just to counter out very mobile heroes and assassins as well.
That's true. I think it's mostly because there's a lot of heroes already in the pool that can wombo combo with an Illumia. I think that's also the primary reason why she's up in the tiering for best
Yeah.
heroes. I guess it still depends on the composition.
Yeah, it still depends on the composition because we know that this Illumia, unless she is very, very online and at par against the damage from their opponent, she can deal damage. But mainly if, like, for example, they just have an equal like equipment and the gold as well, pretty much she will just be very useful in terms of getting getting crowd control source.
Hi. Yeah, you're right. I mean, she does deal damage, but you primarily draft her when you want that hard CC.
Yes.
That AoE CC suit.
Definitely,
Two.
again, we would like to thank our sponsors and partners, of course, Singtel, PvP Esports, Dreamcore, Aftershock, Intel, Overdrive, hello, for the very nice overlays and graphics, Yahoo, Super Solid, Logitech, Stygian Force, and of course, Elgato. Without them, of course, we won't be able to make this happen, so do support them as well. Do like all of their social media pages on Facebook, on Instagram, or wherever you find them.
Yep, thank you very much. I want to point something about Bazaar, EVOSxBazaar.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm not sure if you can see the profile picture on the stream, but I don't watch.
You have a photo. Maybe you can show it in
I,
camera.
I don't
in here.
have Kuroko
You
no
deleted it?
Basket. I don't watch it, but all their profile pictures are characters of
The
Kuroko.
effort that
Yeah.
they have put in here on the tournament's account.
It's really, really great.
it's really great.
Did I take a picture of it? Oh,
You
I did.
did.
I
You
don't
show
think it can be seen.
It can. You just show it up in here so that our viewers can
Here.
you relate.
No.
To, oh, it's not.
Did you just tap the phone to
Yeah,
focus?
no. Yeah, to focus.
So the camera would focus.
Because we
That's
cannot
cute.
see it. Well, anyway, if you're in the event area, if you want to take a look at the
Oh, yeah.
spectator,
You can. You may.
we don't bite.
Yeah.
We're very friendly.
Yeah, we're currently here for
They're
anyone.
actually taking a look.
At the tournament at the lobby screen. But anyone who's watching from their homes who are in Singapore right now, we're here at Quamex 2019 at Suntech at the 6th floor. So we're just right here. It's kind of hard. It's hard to miss it. We have the
It's free
FSL. Yeah,
entrance?
huh?
It's free entrance, is it? I don't know actually.
I wanna
Is it
know
free
too.
entrance? Regardless. Well, I think I have friends from Singapore as well who came in here, and I think they didn't have any problem. But let's not waste our time as we will be heading on to our game 2 for this round robin match between EVOSxBazaar and FOBA. Once again, EVOSxBazaar coming out from all the way from Thailand and FOBA team from Vietnam.
Yep, it's EVOSxBazaar's first time to be competing overseas. So
Yeah, that's lovely.
it's lovely, and they won the first game. But now they're gonna switch sides, blue side for PBT from Vietnam, and EVOSxBazaar on the side of red. But that's understandable, right?
You
Zip.
can see zip ban, and we can see in here, FOBA team doesn't want to give out Hayate, which they used a while ago from game 1. So they still find Hayate actually powerful. So what are the options in here? Violet, by the way, is still open for picking, but we will wait for the decision of FOBA team on which hero they're going to ban out the next.
If I look at what happened earlier, looks like they're going to take out Sephara. Sephara was present at the previous match, but unfortunately they lost. Fennec is actually open as well.
They're respecting their very own heroes in here, the Sephara as well as the Hayate. Although, again, FOBA team lost on that one, they still don't want to give that one
There,
out.
Fennec.
Fennec is being hovered in here by FOBA team, and although Fennec got nerfed in terms of the range that he has, I actually played, I have been playing this hero still right after the patch, and I still find him powerful.
I think it's more of the kit instead of the range, I suppose,
Yeah.
since it still affects towers, I believe.
Yes.
Really good AoE control in case he's stuck in a very not so good situation. But let's take a look at the next 2 picks. So a hover to Marja here. And at least they're going to get the side lane secured. 2 of the side lanes secured, unless Seniel, they do decide to put that on the roaming side,
Yeah,
roaming
most
role.
likely.
Yeah.
Most likely, Seniel is being used as a roamer in here already. But still a lot of things can happen in here because, you know, you can still put Marja or Seniel both on the sides and we get a different roamer on their side. Meanwhile, looking at what is happening in here on the FOBO side, a net support plus Cricknack getting a lock in here. Finally, they got a lock on the Cricknack. Really good hero actually to burst down really squishy targets.
That's true. I really like what EVOS is doing here in the draft. They're not revealing too much. Meanwhile, PBT is so aggressive in their draft. Like, I really like their picks, TBH for PBT, because there's a ton of damage on their side. So it's kind of a swap. Like, okay, it's our turn.
You know what? Talking about what you have mentioned, not rebuilding too much, I definitely agree on that. Because look at this Seniel and the Darcy in here getting hovered or picked already onto the side of EVOSxBazaar team. By the way, guys, the team names on the bottom part of the screen right now, it might get you confused. It's actually EVOSxBazaar onto the right side and it's FOBA team onto the left side. So yeah, going back onto the discussion of not rebuilding much, Seniel can actually take 2 different roles. He can go onto the side lane or he can go support. Darcy at the same time can go for the jungle the mid lane. So as you can see, they are on sprint at the moment. They don't even want to reveal that to the casters.
That's true. I mean, they're not even changing their spells at the moment, so they're not really revealing too much still. Let's see though. There's a lot of flex. I really love, again, EVOS has done it again with their draft. It's still a mystery to us.
Yeah, a mystery that they don't want to reveal to the casters and of course the audience. It's just their very own strategy at the moment, and it is actually pretty advanced in terms of drafting decisions. Liao-chan getting a ban in here. She actually went powerful, although we know what's a good counter for Liao-chan. Actually, Annette is a good counter for Liao-chan. To secure up in here, purifying bracers. Probably if you get a Chalkner yourself, but that's not gonna happen because FOBA team already has an Annette.
Absolutely true. You're right. It's like maybe they're just still pretty much wary in case they do get Annette and then Liao-chan on the same team. Even if gonna get taken out of the board as well. So if I'm looking at it, they're pretty much either lacking they're lacking a mid laner for PBT and another side laner. In the meantime, for EVOS, it's hard to tell what they're lacking because there's 2 flex picks here.
Yeah, flex picks indeed, but if we assume that Seniel is actually going to okay, this is now pretty obvious. Seniel's gonna go support Marja onto the side. So as his skill growth, Darcy probably on the jungle. Looks like they're gonna go for no. Or Darcy could go mid and they're gonna go for a marksman jungle because they don't have a marksman yet.
Violet open? Oh, Violet is open, so they can get that. So Varus still getting hovered. Preta though, I love Preta. Although there's a huge downside to Preta because it takes a while to really get that maximum output, but Preta is really good at sieging, really good at wave clear, and really good from playing from behind as well, because the tower defense for Preta is really, really good with a huge AoE and huge amount of damage. So let's see what the last pick is going to be. Oh wait, it's different now.
For a no marksman setup, so
Mirad.
Looks like they're going to go for an assassin jungle in here, Darcy onto the mid. This is the advantage on having a very flex drafting. Like you can go decide, because initially you could assume that Darcy go jungle, but this time they adjusted based on what FOBA picked.
I am amazed by the draft of EVOSxBazaar.
I'm amazed. It's actually very high level. Even I still actually on the works.
Trying to figure out what they were planning during the draft. But yeah, you're right. They're not gonna have a marksman, but they do have a hard carry on their side. Again, I suppose Darcy Kilgroth has a lot.
Definitely, and I'm so excited to see this one. Then again, this is game 2 for this match between EVOSxBazaar from Thailand and FOBA team from Vietnam. It's going to be very exciting. Who's going to take home the 3 points, or rather 1 point each, or none at all?
We'll have to see.
All right, then again, guys, we are live once more on Facebook, on YouTube, and all the other streaming platforms. There you go. We are now on to the Antares battlefield. Once more, this is EVOSxBazaar onto the red side, and FOBA team onto the blue side. Don't get confused on the overlays that we have in there. Our directors will definitely pick that one out later on. I guess we'll have a recap of the lineup for the meantime.
Yep, recap for EVOSxBazaar, Lucy on the Darcy. That kind of rhymed. Marja on FZK. FZK on Marja, rather. Elise on the Kilgroth. Maz on the Enzo. Yuna on the Seniel. PBT in the meantime. Saya on Preta. Sunny on the Annette. Andrew on Crickneck. Saber on Varus. And Tracy on the Fennec.
Oh, there you go. Let's see in here who's going to take home. For so far, but in the meantime, it's actually, well, of course, no casualties at all, and everyone's just catching up on farm. And usually, whoever in here gets gets to level 4 first will get an advantage of going for a T5 or a gas.
That's true. First level 4. For me, I am putting my money on PBT. I really like their comp. I think it's because their damage is super reliable. Oh wow, just as I said it.
Lane. Look at how Ali's getting bullied by Saber onto the top. If I'm going to choose the lineup as well, I'm going to go for the FOBA team. But in here, look at that. First slot secured by Andrew right away from the Crickneck. But I guess mainly the reason why I want to go for on opting onto the side of Fobo lineup, the Fennec that they have, so as the Crick deck that they have, so it definitely can burst down the Darcy and so as the Enzo pretty much, because these are pretty squishy heroes.
Absolutely true. And that's the reason why they're actually doing a couple of rush tactics here.
And there you go, Spirit Sentinel, who will secure it. I think Maps actually was able to steal that one out, and they will go for a team fight. Look at that, Alice in here, very, very low on HP, but look at that passive will not connect. Saber still trying to catch up, but the rest of the team will just back away. No casualties at all from that team fight.
Oh yeah, a lot of mobile heroes for EVOs as well, if you look at it. You saw how Maz on the Enzo really danced around the battlefield with those chains. But meanwhile, PBT is going to take this Abyssal Dragon with no contest whatsoever, as they have acquired information that most of the members from EVOS are found at the top side of the map, or rather the Dark Slayer top of the map.
Totally. Plus, it was very quick, primarily because they got a DPS source, and of course, I think the Punish was available for Andrew. They actually didn't even use it, I think. He didn't even use the Punish from the Abyssal Dragon take.
Yeah, most likely saving it for the jungle camps. Meanwhile, Saya on the Preda, with just gonna be chilling with Sunny here in the mid lane. Yuna though, wanna dash in.
Oh, look at that going in, but of course that's just gonna be a poke so that whoever clears that middle lane faster will be able to roam around the map much quicker. But in here we have a team fight once more, tricky to situation. Sunny will go for a defensive move in there. Not gonna be able to catch up by that Enzo with a really, really long chain. But look at that burst coming up from Andrew, just basically poking that one out. But they're now positioning themselves onto the bottom lane.
Now Yuna, being that living board, seeing Sunny in the bot side as well. But I have to hand it to Maz. Maz is she's doing a good job once again here, despite having a ton of damage in the opposition for PBT. Meanwhile, Saya has recalled, so that's why a lot of the members from PBT...
Oh, Sunny getting chained in here by the Enzo, and of course Tenyo will go in, but getting caught up by that ultimate coming out from the Darcy, but no follow-up. They will engage onto the team by Flicker coming on FZK, but then again, everyone seems like will go for no casualty onto that team fight. That was a really impressive move for both of the teams, because, you know, they were able to sustain that one, but look at what's Elise doing in here onto the top.
That was amazing. I think for both teams, because Maz really connected a lot of the chains on her side, but at the same time, because of Tracy's ult from the Fennec, it zoned a lot of the members from EVOS. They decided not to go all in. They had the potential to clean up a lot of members from PBT, but because of that play, of that ult primarily, it gave EVOS that doubt to go all in. So it was pretty even, but PBT is going to be lurking around this mid lane for now. Probably going to attack someone.
Oh, there you go, Lucy getting caught up as an available flicker, so he will survive. And then again, Riku, 5-minute game time, and we just had one kill. I really like how these girls are playing it, reserving all of their dashes to, you know, to safety.
That's true, that's true. Because if they're sure that they're not prepared to fight, then why fight? So they just decide to disengage and escape from danger. But let's see what PBT can get in return here.
Let's take a look at what is happening once more onto the middle lane. Is this going to be another team fight that there's no casualty, but Sunny getting caught up in here, losing an ability, losing the HP bars, and he will fall down. And there you go, rotating over to the top lane. They want to get this Saber, gonna get chained, and in here getting tossed out, and 2v1 still sustaining, but looks like this time no survival at all.
I think most of the kills and assists are going towards Elise, and that's a kill ground that you do not want to give kills to give gold to. He's going to be a killing machine!
A killing machine, Messiah, but a revenge is being done by the kill drop. Meanwhile, look at the bottom lane part of the map. Tracy will fall down in here. This 2v1, he didn't survive, but look at the turret onto the bot. I think it was, but onto the middle lane, Lucy versus Andrew in here, forced to flicker him. Oh, really nice! Clutch play, and of course a really nice juke out by Lucy in there. I really like that, but we have to take a look at what is happening onto the top. Saya versus Elise, backup incoming just in time. I still have to commend the highlights worthy plays by the RC onto the middle lane a while ago.
Yeah, Lucy did a good job, because I feel like that was just one auto attack left for Andrew for the quick knack, and then she wasn't able to do it. So kudos to Lucy for escaping, you know, a supposed kill for quick knack, and maybe no pressure at all for mid lane.
Making use of her ultimate to back away. It was not ideal, but that was needed. But in here, we have another ultimate coming out from the RC, but was not able to utilize the combo that was needed. Maz in here onto the top lane, going to back away, but looks like he will not survive at all. And there you go, a cleanup will happen in here, but the rest of the minutes.
You know what's funny? You said 5 minutes in the game, we only had 1 kill, and now maybe 3 minutes has transpired, and now it just became so amazingly chaotic.
Alice, what are you doing in here having a 2v1 fight? At the moment, looks like we're not survived onto this dash coming out, and of course the burst coming out from Andrew, but Trace is still getting bullied onto the bottom lane part of the map right now. Supposedly, I was actually even expecting more of the Fennec going for a greater advantage in terms of pushing this turret onto the bottom lane. But I think what was happening onto the bottom lane part of the map was that the timely backup incoming from the Sentinel as well, because you know we have a global ultimate from the Sentinel, so he could basically assist on wherever part of the map is needed.
But the fight is definitely everywhere. It's not even stopping. Maz has connected chains on towards Sunny. Looks like will not pursue that as she sees Saya just lurking around the bottom side of the map. Meanwhile, Andrew's going to get the minion wave here. But Lucy will dodge that attack from Sunny. It's going to be A-okay.
A-okay indeed, but let's look at what's happening onto the top right now. This Saber trying to make sure that this too will not be able to push the top part of the map. By the way, going back to the Darcy, I have been seeing Darcy just making use of... I haven't seen the needed combo yet.
That's true, that's
true. You know, putting down the ultimate and then followed up with the second skill, but unfortunately it seems like they are too careful on the movements that they have to do on the team fight.
Speaking of fight here, Saya in the bottom side of the map gonna jump towards FCK. I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough. Nice sidestep by FCK on the Marja, but look at the top side of the map. There's gonna be another fight.
Still, this is once more the RC not being able to use the combo. Just basically landing the ultimate, but unfortunately not follow up with the second skill. I wonder why that is happening, because it's so powerful. It's supposedly to be
a burst
damage. But one thing you will notice in here, actually Fennec as well as the Preta changed lane.
That's true,
onto the mid as well as onto the bot. Probably the Fennec's actually having a hard time against the pick.
Oh my word! Look at that, taking the tower, taking one down as well. Maze is going to be eliminated, the first one, and here comes PBT leading the charge towards Yunha, the only one left at the top side of the map. The DS lane, there's the shield, there's one more left. Will the
Saber wasn't able apparently to catch up that one, getting turrets hit. Even he might be able to get punished on that.
That's true, because Darcy, that's because Lucy actually arrived at the lane already. So I think it was a good decision to back off instead of continuing the pursuit. But yeah, going back to the Fennec lane swap with the Preta, I think it is a better matchup for the Preta. Has been bullying FZK, but now you find FZK in the middle at this moment.
Now they transitioned onto the mid. They have to back that one up. They don't want to lose any towers anymore. They lost one onto the top. So as actually Kobo team onto the bottom lane part of the map. But this time, everyone's just trying to probably contest another objective in here. Might just be the FSL Dragon for the red side, which is EVOSxBazaar,
Yeah, because they still don't have an Abyssal Dragon. But I mean, they've been busy just trying to make things happen for both of these teams on different lanes. Like there are simultaneous action happening from DS, AD,
again!
Oh, there it is!
Finally, the combo that we're wanting to save, but apparently there's a dash away available by Andrew. We go for a team fight in here. Yunya going solo, so as is FCK. But in here, Craigsack going for the backline, taking out that Lucy. So is the rest of the members in here. Onto the red side is actually going to fall down, and this is an opportunity by the blue team, Kobo team, to take a turret onto the mid. They might go for another turret.
A red team
Tier 2 turret onto the middle lane once more. They got the opportunity because two members, or rather three members, onto the side of EVOSxBazaar is actually down.
Absolutely true. PBT gonna take advantage of this now. it is going to be potentially a 1-1 denying a 3-point. It's looking really good for PBT at this point.
Yeah, Saber going for the tier 1 turret onto the bottom lane part of the map as well. Dark Slayer being taken down by Bobo team as well. At the same time, it's going to be a fast contest because, of course, the damage from the quick knack and, of course, the Phoenix just too real at the moment. Now, this time, they're just going to find a position that they need to take off another good team fight.
I mean, they do have margin for the wave here if they want to deny a siege, but I think it's just overwhelming. You saw earlier that Lucy managed to land the combo almost on towards Andrew on the quick knack, but because they're mobile, they have a lot of zoning tools from PBT. I think that's the reason why EVOS is hesitating a little bit to dive in and finish certain targets because there's a ton of damage here.
Yeah, like what Sunny is actually doing. Although a range support in here. Look at the holy the mob because we have a fight ongoing right now. Alice going solo will be taken down by Tracy, and looks like they want to offer another turret in here. This will fall down. They inhibitor turret onto the ball. Looks like they might potentially get this tier 1, or rather the inhibitor turret onto the middle lane as well. Oh, look at what is the Sentinel doing onto the top against the Varus.
Might get caught in the middle here because the rest of the members are gonna converge.
Oh,
just gonna use his ult.
Yeah, forced to make use of his ultimate to go back onto the base. Why did he not use the teleport?
Oh well.
Is it faster? But anyway, Andrew! Oh, getting caught up finally! A death on the Andrew, but he has some resurrection available, so he will still be alive to take one more kill! And there you go! A lot of pressure being put down by Fobo team right now in here. 2 turrets left. What can they do? What can they do? That is the question. What can EVOSxBazaar do this time?
They do have some fighting spirit still left. Yunha trying her best to defend the base, but a lot of the towers in the base are slowly falling. At least on the kill graph, might be very painful already, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough because she might get out damaged here.
Oh, there you go. Let's say, oh, 3-man caught up by Inder, but unfortunately the damage is not enough. It's just Saya taking down the RC as well, but Maps in here getting Tracy as well. So as this Saya, looks like this is a dangerous position. One member left onto the side of Fobo team right now. Is this the comeback that we're looking for the side of EVOSxBazaar?
This is crazy, Kaisaya. I mean, they're already knocking towards the core of EVOSxBazaar. PBT was not able to finish everything off, but because of a 3-man knockup, was it amazing? I believe Saber might get caught out. They have to be careful here, at least. Diving right in.
Have to find a real good position to make sure that his passive will connect, but unfortunately this is a very low Saber right now, but good thing he will survive, and there you go. The rest of the members of Fobo team will go back all alive. Fortunately enough for Fobo team, the death timers are not that huge yet, but this time...
Will this be a steal? Remember, that's a quick knack. Oh wait! Oh my goodness! What a steal in here by Fobo team right now. They're engaging for a team fight. No one got caught up by the Darcy ultimate at the moment. Everyone's chasing every low HP bars in here. Andrew will be taken down as well. The Fennec going for a defensive move onto the top lane. There's some members in here. Oh, that Sentinel will be taken down, and the rest of the members in here by Fobo team will make sure that they will manage the waves once more. So it is an exchange between the roamer and the jungler, but still there's a lot of firepower for PBT. That's why they're so brave to still do the siege and push out the waves. There you go, Saya in here, very squishy one, and a dangerous position at the moment. Oh, damage coming up from the Phoenix, or rather the rest of the members from Saya in here. Double kill will go to Saya all alone. Look at the prey, what the Preyta did in there. Phoenix wasn't even needed onto the team fight. Damage output, that was the plan, but Alice. Okay, she's gonna be okay, but the tower, not gonna be okay. Lucy in here on a dangerous position, making use of a skill 1, but unfortunately, she will survive, but Saber and the rest of the members will go and focus on the turret. They want to end this one, but it's
Zona coming up from the Darcy is also great, but looks like this is it. This is a 1-1 score between EVOSxBazaar and Fobo team.
Wowie wow. PBT
Intense.
denying the 2-point score of EVOSxBazaar from Thailand. That is going to be 1-1 apiece in our
Yeah.
round robin for match number 1.
Intense match
Super!
for our game 2. MVP is gonna go to PBT Saya. So that was a Preta a while ago, but impressive. Overall, the lineup of Fobo team is actually also great.